Once upon a time, there lived a beautiful young lady named Amanda. Amanda didn't just love to look good, she wanted the whole world to see her shine. She loved the baddie lifestyle, the soft life wherever she went. She wanted people to turn and say, "Wow, who is that girl?" Amanda had the kind of body that made heads turn. She was tall, with smooth chocolate skin that glowed under the sun. Her waist was tiny, her hips were wide, and her legs were long like a runway model. Her face was like something out of a magazine, full lips, small nose and bright eyes that sparkled when she smiled. Even her walk was something people watched. She didn't walk, she glided. But Amanda didn't always live this way. Things got worse after she dropped out of school. Her grades were very poor, and she just couldn't keep up anymore. But instead of telling her parents the truth, Amanda kept it a secret. She didn't want anyone to know that she was no longer a student. So while her parents thought she was in class, Amanda was busy enjoying her new lifestyle. She jumped from one club to another, dressed in shiny clothes, high heels, and red lipstick. She loved the music, the flashing lights and the attention. Her favorite slogan was, "If you know, press clear." Amanda didn't just have one boyfriend, she had 5. Yes, 5, and she was the main babe in all those relationships. She made sure that no 2 of her boyfriends lived in the same state. That way, none of them would ever find out about the others. "I'm in charge," she would always say with a proud smile. Amanda lived in Lagos, in a big duplex in Lekki. The house was so beautiful that it looked like something out of a dream. The walls were painted white. The gates were tall, and a shiny black car was always parked outside. She had the latest iPhone, designer bags, and wigs that could buy someone's school fees. All her friends looked up to her, but Amanda made sure none of them ever felt like they were better than her. She was always the leader of the group. "No one shines more than me," she once told her best friend Tonya. "You're right, Mandy," Tonya replied, laughing, "you're the queen." Amanda giggled and tossed her long wig over her shoulder. As it should be, even though her parents believed she was still schooling. Amanda didn't feel bad. "What they don't know won't hurt them," she would say. Any time a rich man came her way, Amanda would not hesitate. As long as he brought money, gifts, or something useful, Amanda would follow him. She didn't care if he was married or not. "I didn't come to this world to suffer," she said one night while talking to her girls. "If he's rich and willing, why not?" But everything started to change one evening at a lounge in Victoria Island. The lights were dim, the music was soft, and Amanda sat with her girls, sipping a glass of wine with a straw. She wore a short gold dress that hugged her body, and her high heels made her legs look even longer. As she laughed at one of her friend's jokes, a man walked into the lounge. He wasn't just any man. He was tall, dark, and wore a white agbada that looked expensive. His wristwatch alone could buy a car. His shoes were polished, and he walked like someone who had power. Amanda's eyes followed him as he sat at a VIP corner, surrounded by quiet, serious-looking men. "Who's that?" Amanda asked. Tonya leaned closer and whispered, "That's Alhaji, he's very rich. Owns hotels, fuel stations, and properties all over." Amanda smiled slowly. "I see." Her heart started beating faster. She had met many men before, but something about this one felt different. She adjusted her dress and whispered to herself, "This one no go pass me by." But little did Amanda know, her whole life was about to change, because everything changed the day Amanda met Alhaji in that lounge. A few minutes after Amanda first noticed him, Alhaji stood up from his VIP table and walked towards her. The music in the lounge was still playing softly, and the lights sparkled gently above her head like stars. Amanda turned her head slowly and looked up at him. He was much older than most of the men she knew. His beard was neat and white like cotton. His agbada smelled like rich perfume, and the gold ring on his finger shone brightly under the lounge lights. He walked like a man who owned everything around him. When he got to her table, he smiled. It was not a wide smile, but it carried confidence and power. "Hello, beautiful," he said in a deep voice. "I'm Alhaji Musa, and you?" Amanda gave a small smile and answered, "I'm Amanda." Without saying much, Alhaji placed 2 fat bundles of cash right in front of her. The money looked fresh. The smell of new Naira notes filled the air. Then he dropped his business card beside the cash. "I want you to be my personal babe," he said calmly. "Don't worry about money. I will give you everything you need." Amanda blinked. She looked at the money, then back at him. "All right," she replied with a small smile, trying to hide her excitement. "I'll call you when I get home." Alhaji nodded slowly, adjusted his agbada, and walked away without looking back. Amanda's friends stared at the table in shock. "Babe," Tonya whispered. "That man is not joking." "Oh." Amanda grinned. "I know what I'm doing." But she didn't call him that night. She wanted to act like a boss. She didn't want to look too eager. She wanted him to wait. 2 days later, as she laid on her bed in her Lekki duplex, scrolling through her phone, she remembered Alhaji's card. She smiled to herself and dialed the number. It rang only once. "My Amanda," Alhaji's voice came on, calm and smooth. "I knew it was you." Amanda laughed. "You remembered my voice." "Of course," he said. "So, have you agreed to be my personal babe?" Amanda paused for a moment. "Why?" she asked. Alhaji didn't hesitate. "Because I want you to be the only one I'm with. Apart from my wife, I don't touch what others have touched. I like my woman to be mine alone." Amanda felt her chest tighten a little. She was still dating 5 different guys across 5 different states. Each one sent her money and gifts regularly. She was the queen of the game. It wasn't an easy choice. She kept quiet for a few seconds. "What would you give me if I say yes?" she asked carefully. Alhaji laughed softly. "Send me your account number." Amanda didn't waste time. She sent it. Just 2 minutes later, she got an alert on her phone. Her eyes grew wide. Her heart beat faster. She couldn't believe what she was seeing. 20,000,000,000. She screamed, "Jesus, 20 million." She picked up her phone immediately and called Alhaji back. "Thank you, sir, thank you so much," she said with joy. But Alhaji's voice was still calm and relaxed. "This is just the beginning, Amanda. Just say yes and I will buy the earth for you." Amanda looked around her room, still shaking from the shock. She had never seen that kind of money in her life, not even close. She remembered her other boyfriends. One sent 50,000 last week. Another sent shoes, but none of them had done this. And just like that, without thinking too hard, Amanda said the words that would change everything. "Okay, I accept." Amanda and her new man, Alhaji, became closer every day. They were like best friends who always had fun. Alhaji would take her out to fancy places, big restaurants, and high-class lounges. Everyone around could tell that Amanda was special to him. The way he held her hand, opened doors for her, and made sure she was smiling. He treated her like a queen. One sunny afternoon, Alhaji surprised her. He gave her the keys to a brand new white Benz. Amanda screamed, jumping up and down like a little girl. "Alhaji, are you serious?" she shouted. "Yes," Alhaji replied with a smile. "It's yours. I want people to know you're mine." Amanda hugged him tight. "Thank you. Thank you. This is the best gift ever." She posted the car on Instagram with the caption, "Soft life or nothing #spoiled #Mayumbens." Her followers went wild. "Soft babe. Teach us queen. Chai God when." But none of them knew how she really got the money. Months later, Amanda went on her first international vacation. She paid for everything: first-class flight, 5-star hotel, shopping spree, and all her destination, Dubai. She wore fancy clothes, sun hats, and carried shiny designer bags. Her skin glowed in every picture. She posted photos of herself in a private pool, drinking coconut juice and wearing luxury swimsuits. People online were amazed. "Wow, she's living the dream. See enjoyment. My gender is winning." Some girls looked at her pictures and started feeling bad about their own lives. They didn't know Amanda's secret. They didn't know about the older man giving her millions behind the scenes. To them, she was just a lucky girl living a sweet life. Amanda felt like a star. The kind of life she used to imagine before sleeping was now real. Every day she smiled, thinking, "This is the baby girl lifestyle I prayed for." Amanda came back from Dubai looking fresh and glowing like the morning sun. Her skin was smooth and dark like sweet chocolate. Her nails were long and shiny. Her hair was done in the most expensive style, and she came back with over 5 new boxes filled with clothes, shoes, perfumes, and bags. As she walked out of the airport, people stared at her. Some thought she was a movie star. "Who is that fine girl?" one man whispered to his friend. "Na Dubai she day come from oh," the friend replied. Amanda wore big sunglasses and carried herself like a real queen. Her phone kept ringing. People wanted to see her, call her, or invite her to parties. But Amanda didn't answer most of them. She felt too important. When she got home to her big duplex in Lekki, she threw herself on her soft pink bed and smiled. "Life sweet like this," she said to herself, laughing. She opened her Instagram and started posting pictures from the trip. Her riding camels, shopping in big Dubai malls, and dancing by the beach in fancy clothes. The comments came rushing in. "Chai, who go sponsor me like this? Amanda, teach us your ways. Share you day do juju. Some girls even saved her photos and made her their wallpaper. But nobody knew the truths. Nobody knew about Alhaji, the rich, older man who was behind her sweet life. Amanda didn't care, she was enjoying herself. As long as the money was coming, she was happy. Little did she know, her return from Dubai was just the calm before the storm. But what Amanda didn't know was that things were about to change. One cool evening, while she was relaxing in her Lekki apartment, a message popped up on her phone. It was from Alhaji. Come and meet me, here's the address. He sent a location pin and added, don't waste time. Amanda smiled. She jumped off the bed and walked to her closet, humming a soft tune. She picked a tight red gown that hugged her big hips perfectly. Her shape was something many girls wished they had: tall, smooth skin, a slim waist, and a figure that made people turn and stare. She stood in front of the mirror, turning left and right, admiring herself. I look too fine a beg, she said to herself. Then she wore her gold heels, sprayed her favorite perfume, and grabbed her small designer purse. I'm sure I'll come back with at least 2 million naira tonight, she said with a big grin. Alhaji always gives me cash when he's happy. She locked her door and got into her car. As she drove, she imagined the gifts she might receive. Maybe another designer bag or a new iPhone. Maybe a fat credit alert. Amanda was used to receiving and spending like a boss. As she neared the address, her heart beat faster. Not out of fear but excitement. She checked her makeup in the mirror one last time and smiled. Baby girl for life, she whispered. She didn't know that this visit would not be like the others. She didn't know something big was waiting for her. When Amanda got to the address Alhaji sent her, something didn't feel right. The house was quiet and surrounded by thick trees. It was a big building, but it looked strange. The lights were low and the air was cold. She took a deep breath and walked inside. She saw Alhaji sitting with some men. These men were huge, strong, and had serious faces. Their eyes were sharp like knives, and they didn't smile. They wore all black and had strange tattoos on their arms. Amanda greeted them with a fake smile. Good evening, sirs, she said. Alhaji opened his arms. My baby, come here, he said. Amanda walked over and sat on his lap, pretending not to feel scared. She didn't want to act rude or weak. Drink this, Alhaji said, handing her a glass with a red drink. What's inside? She asked, smiling. Just wine, my love, relax. Amanda sipped the drink, then she sipped again. She laughed a little, but her head started to feel heavy. The room began to spin. The voices of the men sounded far away. I feel sleepy, Amanda whispered. That's fine, just rest, Alhaji said, still smiling. Then everything went black. When Amanda woke up, the room was very dark. She tried to move, but her hands and legs were tied. She was naked and cold. Her mouth was covered, so she couldn't scream. Fear rushed into her heart. Where am I? She thought, shaking. All around her were men dressed in black, with red cloths tied around their heads. They were dancing in a circle, singing in a language Amanda didn't understand. Their voices were deep and scary. She tried to scream again. Tears rolled down her face. Her heart beat fast like a drum. Jesus, God, somebody help me, she prayed in her mind. She kept struggling, she shook and kicked. But nobody cared, the men danced louder. Then she saw something that broke her heart. Alhaji, she cried in her mind. There he was, standing among them. He was not smiling this time. He was wearing the same black clothes as the others. He looked like a different man. Amanda couldn't believe her eyes. No, why? What is going on? She cried harder. Her chest was hot from fear and pain. Suddenly, a tall man with long dreadlocks and scary red eyes walked into the center. He held a long sword in his hand. Everyone stopped dancing. The whole room went quiet. He looked like their leader. He raised the sword in the air and shouted, Tonight we make a sacrifice. The men clapped and chanted something strange. Amanda closed her eyes, shaking. She knew this was the end. God, forgive me, I'm sorry. Please help me, she prayed in her heart. The leader came close to her. His sword was shining. He pointed it at her neck. Amanda froze. Then he stopped. He sniffed the air like a dog. He sniffed again, his face changed. Who brought this girl? He barked. Alhaji quickly stepped forward. It's me, sir. The leader's face turned red with anger. Why would you bring a girl that is on her period into our shrine? What? Alhaji shouted. She didn't tell me. I didn't know she was. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Amanda was confused. But then she realized she had started her period just that morning. The leader dropped his sword and pointed to the other men. Untie her now, take her outside. Yes, boss, they replied quickly. Amanda felt their hands loosening the ropes. They lifted her carefully and carried her out. Her heart was still beating fast. She didn't understand everything, but she knew one thing for sure: God just saved her life. She was shaking, wet with sweat and too weak to speak. As they placed her outside the strange house, one of the men whispered, "You're lucky. Girl, if not for your blood you would be gone by now." "Get out of here," the man shouted angrily. The place where they kept her was deep inside the city of Lagos, far from where people lived. There were tall trees and thick bushes all around. It was quiet and scary. As she tried to dress up, one of the men slapped her hard. "Foolish girl, don't ever come back here." Then the other man kicked her side. "Start running now or we'll change our mind." Amanda held her bag tight. Her phone was thrown into her lap, scratched and dirty, but it still worked. She didn't say a word. She stood up slowly and began to run. Her legs were hurting, her dress was torn, her head was spinning, but she ran as fast as she could, not looking back. "This bush is too big," she said to herself, crying, "I don't even know where I'm going." But Amanda remembered something. Before she passed out inside the shrine, she had prayed in her heart, "God, if you save me, I will stop this life. I will leave this bad path and follow you," she had said. Now that she was free, she whispered again, "Thank you, God, I'm still alive." Amanda ran and ran until she finally saw a road. A car passed by. She waved and shouted, "Please stop, help me." But the man inside the car looked at her from the window and drove away. Amanda was tired, but she didn't give up. "At least this is a road," she said, trying to smile a little. Just then she heard a loud sound. A big truck was coming. She stepped in front of it and waved her hands. "Please stop, help me, please," she cried. The driver slowed down and stopped the truck. He looked at her carefully. "Are you okay?" he asked. "No, sir," Amanda said with tears. "Please help me, I don't know where I am." The driver opened the door. "Come in." Amanda climbed into the truck and sat beside him. She was shaking, so the man gave her a bottle of water. "Thank you," she said quietly. "What happened to you?" the man asked, looking at her wounds. Amanda told him everything about Alhaji, the scary house, the men in black, the sword, and how they wanted to use her for something evil. The man shook his head. "You are lucky," he said, "very lucky, if not for your period. Maybe they would have killed you." Amanda looked down. "I didn't even know it had started. I only noticed when I got outside." The man sighed. "Thank your God. Don't ever go near people like that again." Amanda nodded. "I won't, I have learned my lesson." After a long drive, Amanda finally got home. Her clothes were dirty and her face was bruised. She sat on her bed, breathing heavily. She took her phone and turned it on. At last there was network. She opened her WhatsApp. She checked her messages. Then she checked Alhaji's number. She was blocked. He had blocked her everywhere. WhatsApp calls, Instagram, Facebook. Amanda sat still for a while, her eyes filled with tears. But this time she wasn't crying out of sadness. She was crying because she was thankful. "I could have died," she whispered. "But I didn't, God saved me." From that day, Amanda changed her life. She deleted all the contacts of the other men she used to meet. She cleaned her shop. She started going to church again. It wasn't easy. Money stopped coming the way it used to. Some days were hard, sometimes. She even wanted to go back to the old ways. But she remembered what happened that night. And she remembered her promise. So she stayed strong. Bit by bit, she found peace. And she began to live a better life. Lessons learned. Never trust someone just because they give you money or gifts. A flashy life on the internet is not always real or safe. Bad choices can lead to dangerous places. God always listens when we cry to Him with a sincere heart. True peace comes from living right, not from chasing quick money. Thank you for watching till the end. Please like, share, leave a comment and subscribe to my channel for more interesting stories. Remain blessed.